Hi guys, Artem here with another quick tutorial. So this time I want to talk about web scraping, and I want to show you some tools that will allow you to scrape the data of public facing websites absolutely for free, and most importantly without any kind of programming knowledge. Web scraping is basically a process of extracting data of websites, and before it used to require you to program your own web scraper, and even nowadays, if you know Python, for example, there are some amazing frameworks for web scraping, but obviously not all of us are programmers. Still, as a digital marketer, if you know how to do web scraping, it can be a huge advantage. If you think about it, Airbnb, for example, used to scrape the data of Craigslist in order to grow the user base. They basically just send out emails to people who are listing their properties on Craigslist and were searching for tenants. They scraped Craigslist, analyzed the data, and from those listings they found the listings that were basically potential customers for Airbnb, and they sent out email to them. So companies use web scraping every single day. You could, for example, monitor your competition, you could do all sorts of stuff, right? Anyway, web scraping should be legal in most cases. Again, if you're scraping a public website and you're not placing any kind of additional load on the web service, and you're also not causing any kind of damage and so forth, it should be fine. So in most cases, don't worry about it. Just make sure you're not doing anything crazy like starting, I don't know, 100 web scraping processes at the same time and so forth, because most likely the website will ban you. But enough talk, let's get to work. I have here Etsy search results for search term wedding cake topper. So in our use case, we could, for example, imagine we're selling wedding cake toppers and we want to analyze competition. So we want to see what's the average price of wedding cake topper. On average, do sellers offer free shipping and so forth? You know, on average, how many reviews do they have and so forth? You could obviously just open up Excel and start doing everything manually. You could go one by one and insert the data into Excel, but obviously that's not going to be a fun Sunday. So what you can do, actually, you can use this nifty little extension called Instant Data Scraper. It's a free extension for Chrome, but I use it in Opera as well. So yeah, you just click it on the page that you want to scrape, and it will analyze the page and search for data that it can parse. There we go. You see, it already analyzed the data, and here we have our results. So here you see it parsed the data and created a table, and now we can decide what columns we want to keep and what columns we want to get rid of. So for example, we don't care for, I don't know, we don't care, for example, for this average rating, or I don't know, for this column. I don't know what that is even. You can just remove columns you don't want. You can rename them as well, title, and then you just have to scroll and find the next button for the, there we go, next button, locate, click. Did we click? Yes, we clicked it. I think it was even selected by default. I think the system is pretty good. Then you can set minimum delay and maximum delay. So obviously you don't want to hammer the web server, so just be gracious. You could, you know, set it to 5, for example. Max delay is 5 seconds, and then you click start crawling. Now what will happen, it will click next and then scrape all the data from the page, then again click next and so forth, and it will do it for as long as there is next button, so obviously for a very long time. You can see results here, and you can stop it at any time. I'm not going to continue further, just for illustration purposes. That's it. I stopped, and now I can export it as an Excel spreadsheet. Now, for some reason it says it's damaged, but it works pretty well. And now what we can do is we can select all the data, go to data and then filter, and then let's adjust the width of the columns. There we go. And now we have pretty cool data that we can analyze. So, you know, if we, for example, scraped all the search result pages, we could, for example, calculate how many do offer free shipping. We could calculate average pricing and so forth. And we could even analyze, we could use other tools. And let me know in the comments if you want me to go over some tools that can analyze the text and can tell you which keywords do the ones that sell the most use. So that could be really helpful. So for example, when you're fighting for visibility on platforms such as Amazon and Etsy, you want to see what keywords does your competition use in their title, which is usually very, very important from the algorithm that decides who is shown and who is not in the search results. So yeah, you can do a lot of cool stuff now. A lot of cool stuff. So that was really simple, right? So this tool works really well on very, very big platforms, and even for smaller ones, I've seen it works really well. Then there is another tool that I use called Octoparse. That's okay. Let's call it Octopus. Anyway, so this tool is pretty cool. It's way more advanced, way more advanced. You can do amazing things with it, but let's just start with something really simple. So here, you just enter the website's URL and you click save. Now it will load the page and it will analyze the page. And as you see, Octoparse is a Windows application. It's also available for Mac. Obviously, I'm on a Windows right now, but it's not an extension. You have to download additional software. It's free, but there is a limit. You can only export 10,000 lines, I think. But still, for most cases, it's all right. So here we save settings, right? And you see we have this pop-up, you know, privacy pop-up. So what we can actually do is, and here you can see the workflow. So how it differs from the previous example, it actually creates a workflow and you can adjust the workflow, and it allows you to also clean up the data. So I'll show it to you in a minute. So let's just make sure we click this privacy notification screen. So you go here and you adjust the workflow. You click on the plus and then you select click item, and then from here, wait, there we go, click item. Okay. I should have done it in a different way. Let's just remove and then let's move that here. There we go. So what will happen is workflow works in a very simple manner. We go to the web page, right? Then we click on the button so that we don't see the privacy screen. And then there is pagination loop. So it clicks next. And inside of that loop, for every single page, it extracts the data. And then after extraction, clicks next. So it's a bit more advanced, obviously, but nothing major. But here you can see preview of the extracted data. And why I think Octoparse is really awesome is that you can actually clean up the data already here in the preview, so that you don't have to do that in Excel. So you clean data by just selecting here more, and then from there, clean data. You add a step, for example, replace. Now we can replace, basically this way you can remove useless characters from the input like this, and then confirm. And then you see here, have to click OK. You see, now it's much better. Again, if we want to get rid of the comma, we can again click clean data, add step, replace, and then replace it with nothing, confirm, confirm, OK. There we go. But it allows you to do a lot of cool stuff, You can do a lot, in terms of cleaning up the data. And also, once you're done, you can just click run. And then if you're on a free account, you have to run it on your machine. So here on the machine that runs this application, you click run task on your device and it will start the crawler. Crawler is basically a program that goes to the website and extracts the data. So you see privacy screen popped up, we clicked on it, nice. And now extraction should happen, there we go. Extraction happened, and then we click next. We go to the next page, cool stuff. I'm not gonna wait for it to finish, I'm just gonna click stop. Yep, confirm, yes, and now we can export the data. Yes, export the data. And we can decide, do we want HTML, CSV, Excel is fine, or we can even export to database, but that's obviously pretty advanced. There we go. Open file. And there you have it. Now we have data export and we have a much better version compared to the previous tool because we can actually clean it up before we get the final file. So that's it. Now you have the data. You can do, pretty much anything with it. You can analyze it. You can import it to, for example, different visualization tools. So you can visualize, changes in pricing for this search term and so forth. So hopefully this tutorial was helpful and it will get you started web scraping. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.